Hey everybody, Roman with the Squashfest podcast here, and my co-host.
Just like Cody Rhodes' championship, not reign, but going for the championship, I'm always moving, but never actually going anywhere. The boy harm.
What?
I don't know. It made more sense in my head. It's like Cody's going for the title, but nothing ever progresses.
No, it makes perfect sense. I understood. I was just like, what? The Cody
We'll
Rhodes
get into
reference.
that.
Smackdown.
You mean 90 minutes of more tag team action, part 3?
Can you believe I was scrolling through TikTok and there was a guy who was saying how much he absolutely loves what they're doing on SmackDown and loves the fact that the tag division is getting all that attention? He said, "Keep doing what you're doing. I need to see more of this." Can you believe that? Somebody said that was a take, and he was serious. He was like, "This was not like
You
I'm
needed to
joking."
save this.
I
You needed
know.
to
I
save
should have
this so that
saved it.
way,
I should
yeah.
have
So
saved
you'd
it.
send it to me, and
I
then I
know.
would have just went off
I know.
because we wanted the tag division to be spotlighted.
Yep.
We didn't want it to be the entirety of the focus of the show.
Yeah.
Like that is the problem right now. We got 2 tag matches last Friday night. One of them was super long, and the other one it was just like, okay, I guess I understand what you're doing. We'll get into that, but what like again, SmackDown feels directionless.
Hmm. It
All
doesn't.
right,
It
so we
doesn't
have
feel like one of the premiere shows. It feels like not even in NXT. It feels like something entirely different.
yeah. No, I mean, man, we may have to TNA. We might have to watch some TNA. TNA is actually a good show. So we opened the show, and why is my desk shaking? And we opened the show, and immediately there's a commotion in the parking lot, and the MFTs are there,
Yep.
surrounded by all of the security and the agents, and they're all and police officers, and everything going on, and everybody's just having a commotion. No one's actually saying anything. Adam Pierce comes out, and he goes, and we find out that there was a car accident that happened right outside the arena as the show was coming on the air. But no one knows who actually perpetrated the car accident, right?
We also did not
It's
see the car
supposedly,
accident.
we actually did not see the car accident. There was no like footage. There was no like at least like security camera footage later in the show. Nothing to happen. It was just we were told there's a car accident. No one knows who hit the MFT's car, and it was a hit and run. Okay, so that's how we open the show. So Adam Pierce comes out and he's trying to figure stuff out. And by the way, where is British Adam Pierce? Why is he not on SmackDown right now? Why was Nick Aldis not on the show? Like Adam Pierce was running SmackDown. All right,
You're expecting they didn't show a focal point of the show was a car accident that they never showed. And you're mad that they didn't have featured its
the
own
GM of the
GM.
show.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. Like there's no logic here on SmackDown. What is wrong with you?
Okay, so as Adam Pierce is trying to figure out what happened,
Mm.
he has the portfolio for the contract signing later in the show in his hand. Cody Rhodes, thinking I'm the most important guy in the world,
Mhm.
just shows up while people are trying to figure out if there were injuries, if there was a car accident. Cody Rhodes just shows up and says, like, Adam, I see you're busy, but is that the contract for later tonight?
Mhm.
And Adam Pierce is like, yeah, it is, but I don't have time for this right now. But the thing you asked me to put in there is in there, and Cody takes the portfolio and says, let me look over it, and leaves. That's how the show starts. All right, so then we get from there directly into a pre-tape backstage segment between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is just standing there talking to herself. Again, like she's crazy.
Mhm.
Like she's still in the Wyatt Six or whatever she was with Bray Wyatt. She's like talking to herself. And Charlotte walks up to her and she goes, Lexi, I just came out of the Adam Pierce's office and I got us a tag team title match at SummerSlam.
Mhm.
They didn't win their match
Nope.
at Evolution for
Nope.
the titles.
Yep.
Why are they guaranteed a title shot?
Because this is SmackDown.
and Alexa actually points out, Alexa goes, wait, you can just go into an office and have a conversation and walk out with a championship match? And Charlotte goes, just because we're in a tag team doesn't mean I'm no longer Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you're trying to make her a babyface, but you're having her. That's a heel thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the one thing we hated about Charlotte under Vince McMahon is because we felt like Vince just kept putting her in the main event when she didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
And she's literally saying, I got us a championship match we don't deserve.
Yes.
Like,
Smackdown Logic. That's going to be the theme of today's show. Smackdown Logic.
So Charlotte goes, well, tonight I have a match against Raquel, and I really want you in my corner. And Alexa goes, just like you said last week, I'm not a cheerleader. Do I look like a cheerleader? And Charlotte touches her like little pigtails and goes, sort of, kind of, yeah. So again, they're playing this. Yeah, and Alexa goes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Alexa is so charming and witty. I love Alexa. So they come out to the ring, and during Charlotte's entrance,
again, this whole thing is literally just to get Charlotte over.
As a babyface.
Yeah.
So Charlotte comes out to the ring. They come out for their match. Alexa has pom-poms. like, what is going on this show? Oh, God. So Raquel and Charlotte have a good match. Raquel looked still wrestling as a big giant.
Yep.
But she didn't look like a giant because Charlotte's so tall and lanky. So it's somebody her size, but she still had the power advantage over, right? Mm-hmm. So eventually Charlotte, this is your standard match. Heel starts winning towards the beginning. Mm-hmm. Babyface gets to shine. She starts getting towards the end.
She was hitting her spots, looking for the cheap cheers.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like, come on! Every 2 seconds. Every time she did anything, she was like, come on! Trying to get the crowd amped. I was just like, okay, we're really leaning into this.
Roxanne jumps on the ring apron opposite the entrance by the announce table, getting the referee's attention. Alexa jumps on the opposite side of the ring apron. Raquel runs at Alexa, tries to attack her. Alexa hits her with a guillotine. She turns she turns around on the reflex. Charlotte hits a super kick and a roll up for the pin. They roll out to the ring and Charlotte and Alexa, like, most cringeworthy babyface thing Charlotte did was do that stupid heart thing. Yeah, she was.
And then you noticed, like, Alexa didn't even catch on.
She didn't even see it.
Yeah, at first. So the camera pans. Pans over to Roxanne and Raquel. And then when it pans back, finally she saw it. That was like, I feel like that was an eternity in between. And then they see it and then do it real fast and then the camera cuts off. I'm like, what is happening here?
I don't know, man.
It was very cringe.
I saw this and I was like, they're really going with the we're not friends turning into friends thing. Like, what is going on? With this thing.
What is it? The shirt says "We're not friends."
This is "We're not friends."
Back. No, but on the back, the back it says something of what is it?
I have no idea.
Something of, I think it's Alliance of Convenience or something like that.
Allies of Convenience.
There you go. Allies of Convenience.
Allies of Convenience, and it has both. It has Charlotte's logo and then like a hand drawn picture of Alexa.
Okay.
It's like, what is happening with this? Okay. Yeah, so there was that. All right. So then backstage, we get Adam Pearce and 3 indie wrestlers dressed as police officers. First of all, the first thing I noticed was, where do they get these horrendous police officer uniforms? These things look terrible. They look like they went to Spirit Halloween and got some knockoff. It's just like, what the heck? So the officers instruct and inform Adam Pearce that Jacob Fatu is the person of interest involving the hit and run from earlier. They pan the corner, and Jacob is just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob is so confrontational with these cops. They're like, Jacob, you have to come with us. We have to ask you some questions. But here's my thing. You're in an arena.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't the police officers pull Jacob into a room in the arena and question him in the room? Why did they have to take him out of the arena in the squad car to question Jacob Fatu? He's not under arrest.
Yep.
He's a person of interest.
Yep.
So
Smackdown Logic.
But Jacob is conversation. Jacob calls them punk ass cops.
Yep.
like they're really playing into the idea that Jacob, and in real life, Jacob did go to jail before he started his professional wrestling career. But they're really playing into this idea that Jacob's a gangbanger.
Yep.
Like he just like so stupid. So Jacob's like, I ain't going nowhere with you guys.
He's like an Austin. He's an anti-hero. He doesn't respect authority. He does what he wants. Yeah, they're playing up that whole, bad boy image.
Yeah. It's like if Umaga had that anti-hero issue like thing, the crazy Samoan, and just like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want anyway. So Adam Pearce is like, Jacob, you need to go with him. So Jacob goes with him, and then we get the payoff later. We get a Tiffany Stratton Jade Cargill vignette promoting the match at SummerSlam.
I thought this was bad.
It was so
It was so bad. Jade needs a mouthpiece.
100%.
She needs somebody who...
They both do.
Tiffany, I understand she still has a ways to go, but she's far ahead of what Jade is right now. Like, Jade wasn't even... The audio on Jade's part of the vignette wasn't even loud enough to go over the cheers and the things that were happening in the video itself. Like, it was just bad. It was really bad. Like, she needs a mouthpiece.
So Jade talks about the hardships she's gone through since Naomi turned on her in October, while Tiffany Tiffany talks about the criticisms she's facing while she's still the WWE champion and no one actually believes in her. Jade says she's always been doubted and disrespected, while Tiffany is what the world expects to be of a champion. Tiffany says Jade will just be another name on the list of people she's beaten in her championship reign, and Jade says a storm is coming. That's essentially the entire vignette. That was it. Like, it's just Tiffany. I said this when she was in NXT when she returned her babyface. She came off so well in her heel promos because she was more true. Her character is Paris Hilton. Like, how do you turn that character into a babyface? No one wanted to cheer for her because you're the pretty blonde thing who just feels like everything's always been handed to you. Mm-hmm. And so she knew that character. And when you turn her babyface because she looks like $1 million, she just doesn't come off right. Everything seems like she's forcing it. And Jade, she needs reps when talking. Like, there are times when she's solid enough when she could play off of people, but when she's trying to cut a promo for herself, that's when she really struggles. Yeah. So then we get a R-Truth, Aleister Black, and Damian Priest recap from last week. And then it immediately went to a backstage segment where Damian Priest is walking and he's stopped by Carmelo Hayes. And I don't remember them having a conversation last week. Apparently they did. But Damian Priest asked Melo, and I literally wrote on Melo and some chick because I don't know who Melo was talking to. It was I
didn't know. I didn't recognize that person either. I thought it was just me.
No, if they've seen Aleister, and Melo says, even if I did, I wouldn't say anything to you. So they have a back and forth. Damian says when he catches Aleister, he will make him pray for forgiveness. That he does all his talking in the ring, and then when he's done, he goes out to celebrate. Melo says Damian won't be celebrating because he won't be shutting Melo. He won't shut Melo's mouth. Mm-hmm. Damian challenges Melo to a match. Melo accepts, saying, "I've been looking for an opportunity, especially against a former WWE champion."
Yep.
Yeah, former world champion, former WWE champion, whatever. and and then Damien is crazy for wanting to be laid out in back-to-back weeks. Melo goes to walk away. Damien puts his hand on his chest and says, "I really hope you keep that energy tonight. I'll see you in the ring, Melo."
Mm-hmm.
These guys, this is the match of the night. These guys had a fantastic match.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the match ended in a DQ.
Yep.
Like, so I have the recaps. All just towards the end of the match, it seemed like everything they were both going for was reversed. So it was probably 15 reversals in a row. Damien goes for a Razor's Edge. Mello reverses it. Mello goes for a nothing but net. Damien somehow reverses that. So Damien throws Mello outside the ring. He goes for South of Heaven on the announce table. Mello reverse, but he is able to throw Mello into the ring steps. Throws Mello back into the ring. Goes for Undertaker, old school off the ropes. And out of nowhere, they did great camera work. Out of nowhere, Aleister Black
I
just
didn't
shows up
see
on
it
the
either.
ring
He
apron.
just came up out of nowhere.
Yeah, and grabs Damien by the foot, pulls him off, crotches him. Um, when he gets up, hits him with a black mass. Mello gets up, and Aleister just shoots Mello a look, and Mello runs away
Mm-hmm.
because they had their little feud months ago when Mello was with Miz.
So he knows
So
what that kick is like.
yeah, he goes, "I don't want to do it." No, I don't think Mello ever took it. I
No,
think
he
Miz took
didn't.
it
You're
every week.
right. Miz did take it every week.
Yeah, yeah,
Never
but
mind.
Mello,
So he's
yeah,
more like, I don't want to find out what
I
that
don't
kick.
want to know what that kick feels like. Is so Mello leaves, and uh Alistair crouches over Damien and says, "You found me because I wanted you to find me,"
Yeah, I thought that
and
was
then just
stupid.
walks away.
It's funny
Um,
how you can take a wrestler that I love, which is Damian Priest, and you can have him in such a long feud with someone I don't care about, which is Drew McIntyre. And you can draw that out for years, right? Because
it was
that's
a
what it
year and a
felt.
half.
It felt like years forever, right? Okay, cool. And then now you put him in a feud with another person that it feels like I don't care.
They brought back, and I'm gonna say both of them. I'm gonna say they brought back Alistair and Miro Rusev, and they've done nothing with these guys. They're just there. And I said this, like, you bring them back, and there are big deals in WWE, but the main event scene on both shows is so full right now. There's no spot for them to elevate. They're stuck in the mid card. Like they like
Well, it's also weird because you don't have much going on the show. Remember, it's so heavily focused on tag. If you're not in the tag division going up against the Wyatt Six or going for those titles, there's really nothing going on. And you do have the WWE Championship, but right away you only have one person eyeing that right now,
yeah. And you talked about Wyatt Six, which is a great segue into the Wyatt Six vignette.
which I thought was trash.
It's oh god, I love Bo. This is the entirety of what I have written down. We are where we belong. A cryptic promo where they basically say they're a true family, that the fans have been blinded by the frailty of these other teams, and one by one, they will take them out. All they will do is follow. All we have all the fans have to do is follow the Whites. That's it. I didn't write this down, but I'm gonna say it again. Why do you care about the tag titles? I understand. Again, you want to take down families and these tag teams who you think are not families. That's the premise of your group right now because you feel like you're disrespecting the word family and you guys are a true family. But you don't need the tag titles to do this. The fact that Nikki Cross was laughing and saying they're so happy that the tag titles are in their family. That Bo, I forgot what Bo said, what Uncle Howdy said after, and it was just like, what are you doing? You need to come in and you need to destroy people, and that should be your primary sole motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Not give a crap about gold. That's not what your supernatural characters going for championships have never made sense to me.
It doesn't.
Undertaker was the one exception. but it's just like even when Bray, like you used to say this all the time, when Bray needs wins, Bray needs championships. I'm like, Bray doesn't need championships. Bray
I
needs to
didn't
be
say
not championships, but
chips.
Bray needs
I
to
said
make some
he needs
wins.
wins.
But Bray
Because you
just needs
can't
to
be
be.
this big monster and everyone's supposed to fear you, but everybody beats you. That don't make no sense to me.
I understand that. My thing was always you just need to be compelling as these supernatural characters, and if you're compelling enough that you're then influencing the other characters on the show when you're done when they're done with your feud, then I understand what you're doing. Like Karrion Kross for a long time wasn't doing anything, but the people when I think it was on a SmackDown last year when everybody he feuded with turned heel afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like he feuded with Shinsuke, turned heel. Feuded with I forget who. I think he feuded with Seth, and then he turned heel. Like so now I understand you're using Cross as a way to really have other people explore their motivations, which I think they should do with Sammy, but that's another topic altogether. This again, it feels directionless with the Wyatts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is your end game with this group? Oh, I do have it written down in all caps. Why are the Wyatt Six in the tag division, and why do they care about gold? I did have it right now. All right. So then the MFTs enter the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Solo says that Jacob only cares about himself. That he brought him here to WWE. That he made Jacob successful. That he put money in his pocket and he put food on his family's table, which is super disrespectful. Jacob's got like 7 kids. Like for you to even say that. That he made him a champion and that Jacob deserves none of it. That Jacob betrayed his real family and that once a criminal, always a criminal. Again, just
Playing up the past.
yeah. And once he said that, you can hear Jimmy Uso's voice, and he comes up on the Tron, and he's just yelling, "Say, yeah, get my boy out of there, get him out of here." And the main police officer opens the door, and Jacob comes out of the police cruiser. And again, he apologizes to Jacob, and Jacob looks at him, and again, punk ass cops, and makes his way to the arena.
Yep.
This is something that I probably only care about. I would not have played his music when he's entering that arena coming out of the cop car.
Why?
I think there. I know for him, he should be so pissed that Solo set him up that there's no time to play his music, that he shouldn't have posture for the crowd. He shouldn't have stopped at the top of the ring at the top of the arena and waited for the fire to go off. None of that should have happened. He should have.
I agree. He should have definitely. It would have meant more if he would have just came straight out. And on top of that, it also means it wasn't planned.
You know I think he just walking through silently and letting the announcers just talk with nothing happening. It would have been like, oh, he's about to whip somebody's ass.
Agreed.
That's. I don't think he should have played the music there. But that's just a little thing for me. Jimmy comes. So Jacob hits the ring. Jimmy shows up. He must have sprinted from the backstage because Jimmy showed up at the announce table side. He just shows up on the opposite side of the arena, on the announce table side. Hikuleu, Talatonga runs at Jimmy. He low bridges him. Jacob hits the ring. He takes out the other 3 members of the MFTs. Talatonga and Jimmy are fighting. He's about to choke slam Jimmy through the announce table. Jacob hits a flying Samoan, whatever, suicide dive. And they did another great thing where Hikuleu just rises from behind the announce desk, behind Jacob as he's dancing. Talatonga.
Talatonga.
He goes to confront Jacob. Jimmy comes to save Jacob. He goes for double choke slams. They free themselves. They hit 4 super kicks on Talatonga and throw him over the ring announcers area. I don't know where the rest of the group was, but then Jacob got into the ring and just started beating down Solo.
Mm-hmm.
He hits super kick, he hits a hip attack, he sets up the steel chair on Solo's head in a way similar to how Solo set it up to on Kevin Owens last year when he did the hip attack. Wait, was that Solo or was that Jacob? It was one of them. They put he's got the chair set up over his head and is sitting in the corner, and he's about to hip attack him through into the chair. JC Mateo makes a save. Jimmy takes down Talatanga. Solo takes on I wrote Solo takes on JC Mateo. That's not right. Jacob takes on. Jacob.
We've
takes
got
on,
a massive betrayal.
No. Jacob takes
notes.
down JC. Yeah, Jacob takes down JC Mateo. So Solo and Talatanga are at the bottom of the arena, the stage, and Jimmy hits the splash on Tongaloa. Jacob hits the moonsault on JC Mateo, and then he grabs the chair and just starts wailing into the both of them. While this is happening, Adam Pearce, the worst general manager in the history of general managers, this does not care that the baby faces are just beating down two of your people. He comes out and says, Solo, you framed your cousin Jacob Fatu for whatever, and I brought the police back. So he brings the police back, and even though Adam Pearce just sold Solo, you framed Jacob. Solo points at the ring and tells the cops to go arrest Jacob.
I thought that happened in the reverse.
No, Adam Pearce brought the cops out, and he was like, Solo, you what is it? I have it written down. Confronts Solo, saying that he framed Jacob Fatu and got him locked up. He says, let's see how you like it at SummerSlam when Solo Sikoa defends the U.S. title against you in a steel cage. He then calls out the officers, and Solo tells the officers to get Jacob, pointing at him. As he's pointing at Jacob, that's when the cop grabs Solo's hand and puts him in.
That I remember, but I could have sworn it happened in the reverse, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah,
but your way makes no sense.
I know, it doesn't make any sense. I didn't have a couple Jack and Cokes, but I don't think I'm wrong. Because again, it wouldn't make sense for him to say to Solo after he's arrested that the match is in a steel cage. That happened before he was arrested. Like, whatever. But Smackdown Logic was all over the place last night.
Smackdown Logic.
So he puts him under arrest, and then one of them's reading his rights. Jimmy handed Jacob the U.S. Championship, and he held it up in the middle of the ring. I'm just like, stop touching the title. It's not yours. So Stephanie Vaquer is in the next segment. She enters the arena. We're just throwing the brand split out of the window right now, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's everywhere. And I was going to say, you said Stephanie, right? Because if you noticed during the Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, I was
the Kabuki Warriors walked behind them.
Was that who it was?
Yes.
Because it looked like Julia and somebody else.
No, I think it was the Kabuki Warriors.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Because then that could have the blue could have been Kyrie's hair, then I guess.
No, Asuka's hair.
No. What? Asuka didn't have long hair.
The blue, I think it was Asuka's blue hair.
I gotta watch it back now. You see, there's a lot of things that I gotta watch back.
No, I saw that.
But I thought that was Julia.
No, I think it was the Kabuki Warriors.
Because it looked like she was holding a belt.
I gotta look back at it. When I saw it, I thought it was the Kabuki Warriors. It might have been Julia. Who knows?
Okay.
But yeah, Stephanie is a Raw superstar.
Yes.
She has a championship match at Clash in Paris for the Raw Women's Championship, whatever Naomi has, the WWE Women's Championship.
So what? Doesn't mean she can't be on SmackDown. It's not like we have a
But
bunch of other people who could be, showcased on their own
She,
show. We
she's
have
in
to
a
bring someone over.
she's in a quasi feud with Chelsea Green for some reason. So we needed to who wasn't even on this show. It
Yep.
was so we just did Stephanie Vaquer versus
Alba
Alba
Fire.
Fire. And I like Alba Fire. Even back when she was the NXT UK Women's Champion as Kylie Ray. This was the epitome of a squash match.
Mm-hmm.
This was 3 minutes of nothing.
Yep.
Like so
I counted it too. I was like, that was really fast. I had to go back and rewind, and I was like, wait a second. I was like, was it really that quickly? It was that quick.
it was 3 minutes of nothing. So she gets in all of her stuff. She gets in the Devil's Kiss. She gets in the SVP. She gets the win. Piper Niven hits the ring. Piper hits her with a whatever. I think it was a Samoan dropper. Throws her body at her because she's large. And then she tries to bring it to the corner, and she almost had her set up for an annihilator instead of the Vader bomb she uses, which doesn't make any sense. But then Stephanie gets up, hits her with a super kick, throws her off the ring apron, and the two heels. I had a real big problem with this. The two heels are literally on the floor outside the ring, coddling each other instead of just going back into the ring and beating up the one baby face.
Yeah.
There's two of you.
Yeah.
How bad are you booking these two women that they cannot double team Stephanie Vaquer? And besides the point, Stephanie has no friends on SmackDown.
At all.
There's no one that's going to come out to help her.
Does she have friends, period? I don't think she has friends at this point right now. At all.
Lola Vice on NXT. It would be Nikki. It would be Nikki Bella.
Which is the only person I could think of, and you know she's not coming to SmackDown.
No. So, again, you made them look super weak by having the one woman take out the two heels and them just like, oh, I'm too afraid to attack you again. Just, oh God, it's so bad. So then we got a backstage interview between
Smackdown Logic. Continue.
Here's some more Smackdown Logic. Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony all of a sudden have B-Fab back with them again.
You saw that, right? That pissed me off. I was like, when did this happen? When was this conversation?
Street Profits, because she was there with them when they were with Bobby Lashley.
Yes.
And then when Bobby left, she was still with them.
Yes.
And then when she started teaming with Mia Yim, she left them.
Yes.
She left them, not really, but she just stopped being around them. And then last night, or Friday night, when they were interviewing them, she just shows up with them.
She's just there.
And I'm just like, what is happening? What like I need some sort of motivation. And I think she was just there so that way when DIY shows up, so she can confront Candice LeRae.
Yep.
That was all she was there for.
Yep.
For the female confrontation.
Yep.
And I'm just like, if you're not an every week watcher of SmackDown, you'd forget that this watered down version of Bianca Belair was even with them.
Yep.
Like,
and by that logic, we're gonna see The Miz with Carmelo Hayes, and we're gonna see Austin Theory with the other guy. I forget his name.
Grayson Waller. Yeah, because they broke them up without actually breaking them up. Grayson Waller's been showing up with a new date for some reason.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep.
Okay.
Smackdown Logic. That's really a thing now.
Here's some other thing. I wrote this down and I totally forget to mention this. If you were going to put her back with the Street Profits, why wasn't she ringside with them last week when they were facing the Wyatts so she can counteract Nikki Cross?
Well, Nikki Cross really didn't do anything. Nikki Cross just stood at the feet of Bray. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was Eric Rowan who cheated, which is another thing. The Wyatts are baby faces. Why is Eric Rowan cheating to take the championships?
I don't know. But you're not going to say nothing to the fact that I said Bray instead of Uncle Howdy?
Oh, no. It's Uncle Howdy, not Bray. He's sitting in the rocking chair. He's got the lantern. I understand why you said Bray. It would have went over my head, too. Oh, yeah. So, anyways. So, there So I literally wrote down Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul interview, and they say the Wyatts came up from the swamp and stole their titles. They're asked how they feel not being involved in the fatal four-way number one contenders match, which makes sense because if you're not going to give them their title championship rematch, at least put them in the number one contenders four-way match, which they did not do.
Yeah.
They're interrupted by DIY. DIY basically said the Street Profits dropped the ball, and if you want something done right, we have to do it ourselves. So we had this fatal four-way match, and I did not write down notes for this match. This was a really good match, but it was a fatal four-way match. This is what I wrote down. Very high pace, lots of flipping, lots of high-flying moves. All 8 men were in the ring at one point to brawl. Andrade and Phoenix eventually win this match, which I guess is good because then the rest of the tag division can complain that they're not even real tag team, and they're getting a championship shot against the Wyatts. So DIY is going to lead them. Like, why are they getting a championship shot? So I understand the story. Yeah. Smackdown Logic. Let's put the two Mexican wrestlers together.
That's how I looked at it. I said, put two Hispanics together. It's fine. It'll work.
Where's Los Garza?
Oh yeah, those guys. The actual Hispanic tag team.
The Hispanic cousins who are the AAA Mega Tag Team Champions or whatever championship they have. They haven't been on TV in 2 weeks. Like, where have they been? Okay. So then we got
your vein.
My vein in my head.
From the stress.
This is SmackDown, man. And then we got our Cody John Cena segment.
Yes.
Our main event segment.
Mm-hmm.
Cody thanks the fans for riding with him and basically says he saw a tweet that says Cody doesn't flinch about anything. And he's like, I didn't flinch when I went through the obstacles. I didn't flinch when I faced The Rock. I didn't flinch when I faced the Beast. I didn't flinch when I was lost to Roman. Blah, 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 blah. And he's not going to flinch when he faces John Cena at SummerSlam. He understands it's inevitable that he needs to be the one to take the title off of John Cena and save the championship from John Cena.
Which we both agree that he's probably going to do.
He's going to do. You need to get John Cena's babyface run before he retires. He says he was born for this, and this is the task of his life.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing. The 2 years where you were born to take down Roman Reigns and save that championship, now we're just elevating. Now you're born to take down John Cena?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
I thought that was your mic or something, like you smacked it.
No, that's thunder.
That's crazy.
It's these Florida thunderstorms. So he asks Adam Pearce to bring John Cena out. John Cena comes out to the ring. He sits down. He says, cut the music. Cody, please sit down. He says he has bad news. I was waiting for Wade Barrett to say something. But that he will not be at SummerSlam because he is mentally and physically exhausted.
He has movies. He's got a lot of movies going on.
He's not mentally able to compete at SummerSlam. They can do it at Paris or Perth, but he could not sign this contract because he's mentally tired. All I heard was John Cena needs a mental health day.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. John Cena needs a mental health day. He said if his name goes on his contract, he has to be at SummerSlam. But emotionally, he's out of it. So he stands up. And while he's saying this, WWE did a great production thing. They did a two spot where Cena's on the left of the screen and Cody's on the right, but Cody's like almost silhouetted. So you can see Cody's reaction while Cena's saying this. And he's over the crowd, almost transparent. It was just great production. So Cena leaves the ring. Cody runs out and attacks Cena. They brawl. Cody throws Cena into the seat. No, Cena throws Cody into the steel steps. Cena takes his shirt off because, Cena needs to take a shirt off at all times. Grabs his title, goes to hit Cody with the title. Cody kicks Cena, and it's hilarious. The way Cody kicked Cena, Cena literally tossed the championship at Cody. It wasn't like he lost it. He made it look like he lost it, but it was definitely a hot potato toss to Cody.
Basically.
So he threw the title at Cody. Cody hits him with the title. Lays Cena on the announce table. Hilariously, he grabs the portfolio, the contract, goes up to the top rope, and hits an Uso splash while holding the contract in his hand. It made no sense. And so he puts Cena through the table, grabs John Cena's hand, grabs the pen, and
I know, right,
forces
sir?
John
That's
to
not
sign the
legal.
contract. It is absolutely not legal. But WWE and SmackDown Logic, it's like Cena's hand was on the pen when his name went on the contract. He's got to be at SummerSlam now. It's like he had no intent to sign this contract. Cody forced him into it. Right. But it's the same. I think it last year going into Mania when Rock beat Cody down so much and then signed Cody's name with Cody's own blood on the contract.
I think so.
Like they play loose with these rules all the time. Cody sits over Cena and Cody says, "This isn't going to be a regular match. It's going to be a street fight." Cody holds the championship over Cena and they go off the air.
What's the point in a street fight if you're not gonna have interference?
Who knows? Maybe Travis Scott shows up again.
Even though all reports say that they're basically deading that because he's not showing any progress or enough progress.
You don't think you're gonna get a Rock at SummerSlam?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. It's been so long. I don't. That whole story is just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have kept up with the, sell me your soul and, John Cena's my guy and all that stuff, but like kept up with it, it could have been captivating. But the fact that they did it, it was like a one shot and then we haven't heard Jack for the rest of the time. Travis showed up, I think, one time in between that until now. Like that wouldn't make any
I think
sense.
he just at Mania. I think he was just at Mania.
No, I think he showed up one more time after that. No,
Did he? No, I think it was just Mania when he took 10 years to walk out to the ring.
we gotta look it up.
I don't think he showed up another time.
I could have sworn he did without The Rock.
That's at Mania.
Without The Rock?
Yes, because it was Elimination Chamber when Cena turned heel.
Oh, okay. So then, So then the one time I'm thinking about is WrestleMania. Okay.
Yeah, the one time is Mania. That's when Travis Scott showed up without The Rock. This whole segment was bad. Like
this whole show was bad.
This whole show. It's like somebody wrote this show. Like if you were going to, it was straight to DVD levels, straight to DVD movie levels of writing. Like even to the point where the acting in the Uso segment was so bad.
Okay, first off, what Uso segment? Again, it's literally Solo's faction versus Jacob because you want to elevate Jacob. And then Jimmy's just there to, again, either get beat up or be a tag partner to somebody. And that's what that is. And then you got the whole tag division. That's it. That's all SmackDown has is this, the tag division, and now we're doing Alexa Charlotte, I guess. That's the entirety of everything happening. Oh, no, sorry. And then Damian Priest versus Aleister Black.
Damian Priest and Aleister Black.
Yes, that's the other thing. So there's 4 things happening on SmackDown. That's it.
You have 2 championships on SmackDown which aren't really even being defended right now.
Yes.
You have both United States championships. Who's the current U.S. champion? Men's U.S. champion. Oh, it's Solo. Never mind. That's Solo. Yeah. And Julia's in nothing.
Julia's in nothing.
No. She's...
Again, that's another example. We went from Zelina Vega, who had the title, and you did nothing with her, to give it to another person to do nothing with her.
Yes.
Again, they're just, I don't know, they're paperweights at this point. If you're not going to defend titles and you're not going to use them prominently, what's the point? SmackDown Logic. I'm dead ass when I post everything. I'm going to put hashtag SmackDown Logic.
I can't. And like this
I'm
show,
gonna get that trending.
this show was so bad. This show was so just Cody. Like I started the show trying to make a Cody joke, and it's just like he's doing stuff, but nothing ever moves forward with Cody.
No.
It's just like, all right, we got to get to you and Cena at SummerSlam because we got to get to getting the title back to Cody, and we got to get to John Cena running for the last 4 months of his uh, in-ring career
Where
to
we
have him be
talked
a
about
babyface.
Cody's run wasn't anything spectacular.
No,
So now we're about to give him a second run, and for the purpose of what?
and I don't even know who on SmackDown you can have him feud against unless you're going to do Drew McIntyre, which I don't. I know you're not going to be a fan of.
Drew versus Cody, two guys I'm not hella over on. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't think you can elevate whoever wins out of Damian Priest and Aleister Black to be the Cody's feud. Like, because again, it's like it's going to be the same as his first run, where you don't believe that any of these people had an opportunity to actually take the championship off of him,
Mm-hmm.
except for possibly Kevin Owens when they had that ladder match. That was the only time I would say maybe they put it on KO, but you're gonna have him hold it to what Mania again, and then maybe you do Punk Cody next year at Mania.
Mm.
That's like that's because who knows? Who knows what? Uh, I got nothing. I am so frustrated. And then we got Raw tomorrow night, and I don't even know what to do with that show because we still don't. What do you feel about people saying that Seth Rollins is working his injury so he can come back at SummerSlam to cash in?
I don't know if I believe that. Because you're gonna throw a wrench in your entire faction and the entire story how it was going just so that he could have done that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just not had him cash in. Like, what is the purpose of selling an injury just to prolong that? That made no sense.
You want the moment, the surprise moment. It doesn't make
No,
any
what I'm
sense.
saying is you didn't need him to get injured for him to cash in at that point.
Yeah,
All
I
you
agree.
needed to do was just have him cash in at that point. I think that's stupid. I don't think that's true. I think he's legitimately hurt. Now, whether or not he's back by then, that's a different story. But again, we haven't even heard any reports of that being the case.
Yeah, I mean,
He's being very mum about it too.
yeah, in his own words, he doesn't feel like he'll be back by that time. He may not even be back for Mania in his own words. But who knows if he? I don't. I don't think they're kayfabing everybody because if they are, they're kayfabing everybody, including the locker room. And then apparently you don't do that. You don't do that to other wrestlers. You don't kayfabe the
Precisely.
locker room.
Precisely.
Yeah. So, but you also taking him off the show. Raw some can feel directionless without him too, unless you're going to take this time to really
Everything
elevate.
on Raw involves him right now. So
Yeah, I was
like,
saying unless you're going to take this time and elevate Braun Breaker.
yeah, which they tried to last week, having him be in the finals in that match.
Yeah,
But
he beat
again,
everybody but Punk.
yeah, but again, there's only so much you can do without the man. That's what happens when you put everything solely on the back of one person. I don't think they would jeopardize the entirety of a show just for that one fake
Yeah, I
injury.
agree.
That's what I'm saying. So, yo no no,
Yep.
yo no no.
I got nothing. I got nothing else. So your takeaway on SmackDown, besides SmackDown Logic?
So, whole lot of Smackdown logic. Um, I don't know. It's just getting harder to watch. It's getting harder to justify it. We were on such a good run, but with these two shows for such a while, and then now it just seems like we're going back down. We're taking steps back, and again, for Raw, it's completely different reasons than SmackDown. There's plenty of people you can elevate on SmackDown and make the focal point of the show, but for some reason, they really just want to focus on tag team wrestling right now. For some reason, and the Wyatt Six, which my only problem with the Wyatt Six is one, you didn't do anything with them for so long. then now you're trying to force feed us. You're trying to literally jam them down our throats. And secondly, you're trying to do so without a real direction for them.
Yes.
That's how I feel. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like we could build a better show.
That could be a great TikTok episode. How do we fix SmackDown?
The only reason I don't think it's a TikTok is because of how long it'll probably have to be. Like, it's not gonna be one of those short clips. It's gonna be a very long episode. And it's really just the writing. First I got to figure out who's on that roster, because that roster is just as stacked, I feel like, but there's just so many people who are not on television.
Apollo Crews is still.
That's immediately who I thought about. I swear to everything, bro. That's immediately the first person that came into mind, because I was literally scrolling through the list on WWE 2K25, and when I was scrolling through and I was putting the rosters together, Apollo Crews came up, and I was just like, he is still technically on SmackDown. He's still on the roster. That's a whole nother
almost
show.
Is still.
Stop it. He can stay where he is. Stop it. But you understand my point? Like, there's plenty of people that they could be using. There's plenty of people that they are using, but just not using correctly. And then there's people that they're using too much, doing too much with, that you don't need to have such a focal point with. I'm sorry. There's no reason for the tag division to take up your entire show. It made sense when it was 3 hours.
Yes.
Because then you focus 1 hour on tag. I get it. Cool. It's 2 hours now. It's time to bring it back. And that's my hot take.
I don't think it's that hot, because I'm going to agree with you. This was just bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. This is for another week in a row where it's just bad TV. There's nothing makes logical sense. The writing is bad. They're trying to tell, this was, like, to your point, they're trying to make Jacob Fatu into this anti-hero badass, and just that whole segment, the through line of that's the hit and run that we never actually saw, and no one actually got hurt. So what are we doing?
That felt like such a last minute decision, just because, again, we didn't see the accident. That's not like them to have something like that go off screen. That felt
we
like
didn't even have I don't even think we even had a car. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. There was nothing. There was nothing. That's why it felt like such a last minute thing. It was bad.
When it came on the air, I was just like, we're doing another segment where Jacob attacked them in the parking lot. Didn't we just do this like 2 weeks ago? Just like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. Just the writing is terrible. Alexa and Charlotte cannot save us. They're not Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You're not wrong. But yeah, like, that's my take. That's all I got. I don't know if you got something else, but it was just bad.
I'm gonna start lubricating myself before I watch SmackDown.
What does that even mean?
I need to get drunk.
No.
In order to enjoy SmackDown, it needs to make no logical sense in my own brain.
Damn.
This is just where we are. Again, the booking on these shows is terrible. I am looking forward to watching Slammiversary tonight because AJ Styles is on the show. Because I want to see if Mike Santana is going to win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I want to see if an NXT wrestler is going to walk out with the Knockouts Women's Championship because they're doing title for title. I don't even care to. You know what? And here's my thing. They're doing too many PLEs.
Yes.
And I think because they're doing too many PLEs, nothing has a chance to grow into something we care about.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting 2 nights of SummerSlam that nobody asked for. And then 4 weeks later, we're getting the Paris show. And then we're getting the Perth, Australia show in September. And then I don't know what's in October. And then we're probably going to get, and then we're getting San Diego War Games in November. They need to scale it back and let the actual storylines progress in a logical manner. So when we get the blow-offs for these storylines, we care about them.
Yeah.
Because just telling us Alexa and Charlotte are going to get a tag team championship match at SummerSlam with no build towards it, and they don't really hate the Judgment Day. Like, there's no reason for this feud other than, we're friends. We're going to go for it. Charlotte likes gold. We're going to go for tag team titles.
That's exactly what the motivation is. She can't go for the main event spotlight, so we're going to get her the next best thing.
Yes. I'm like, it hurts.
I know.
I think sometimes it physically hurts.
Here's what I'm thinking. This might be the perfect time to start AEW.
So my thing to you is, because AEW is not story-based wrestling, you're not going to really enjoy it. But AEW shows have been better the last few weeks. I'll say that much. They're trying to make an emphasis on character.
Okay, so here's what I heard. It's time to start watching TNA.
I told you a long time ago you should be watching TNA. On a weekly basis, in my opinion, TNA might be the best wrestling show week to week.
Wow. And you know why?
Be.
Because that's where the Hardys are. And at the end of the day, they have the best tag team wrestling in all the business.
I mean, just tonight's card is stacked. We're getting Moose versus Leon Slater for the X Division Championship.
He ignored me.
I'm just whatever. That tag match is a 4-way tag match tonight for the tag team titles with the Hardys, with First Class, which is AJ Francis and something Navarro. I think his name is JC Navarro or KC Navarro or whatever. Whoever's in First Class with Top Dollar. The Rascals are in it, are in that match, and there's a fourth team. I don't remember the fourth team.
I don't know. I saw the flyer for it.
It looks like a really good show. TNA puts on a really good week-to-week
The only
wrestling.
thing I didn't like when I saw the flyer, I immediately said, and this is, I think it's a ladder match, and I immediately thought, please, Top Dollar, don't do a high-flying maneuver. That's all I thought of. I promise you.
Top Dollar. AJ Francis. He's turned himself into a solid wrestler outside of WWE. He knows how to get AJ Francis. He knows how to get heel heat. I mean, to the fact that he got fired from WWE twice in a year, and then WWE TNA partnership started, and they put him on NXT. Like, if WWE didn't like him, they would just be like, I don't want Top Dollar anywhere near my product.
Yeah, sure.
But they put him on NXT. Like, they obviously liked AJ Francis.
Well, and he also hosted their show for a little bit. He had a show that he was hosting.
Yeah, when they hunted for, it was basically not Urban Pickers.
Whatever. It's when he went after relics of WWE.
Yeah, those guys who would go to junkyards and find old school relics, basically, but for WWE.
Yeah. He
would go around with Mick Foley and Undertaker and try to find their stuff.
Yeah.
From fans who owned it. And he's a good character. I'm gonna watch Slammiversary tonight, so we'll see.
Enjoy.
I will. Like I said, I really want Mike Santana to win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Copy.
We'll see. But yeah, no. I mean, we got Raw tomorrow, and obviously, I'm not gonna look for a preview. Hopefully, it's better than SmackDown. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got. All right, with that, there goes another SmackDown episode of the Squashfest. Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. And again, we appreciate you for all the likes, comments, and follows and subscriptions and all that nice stuff. Later.
Yeah. See ya.